Wait a second when I get this together. Let me see. I'm gonna put something on right quick. Oh. Mm. Tell me why you ask for. But you everything you ask for. I'll figure some of this out. I ain't done nothing but listen to a little music. I'm gonna share mine. I don't care about straight. Good morning. Got your feet up on the dance floor. Yeah, got me going crazy, 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 crazy. Crazy. That's why I try for us. Body let me talk to me, baby. Body let me talk to me, baby. Hey. Body let me talk to me, baby. Talk to me, baby. Pussy go fucking a shot them up. The way you talk when you talk. You say you like love sex, but me no love sex. You get sex. Why you addicted? You're obsessed. Make me fuck you with success. You saw me little and pretty and me think up. Skin smooth and ink up, but I fear good vibes when we link up. So why you complain? How dare you fall in love now? How dare you try to fall in love now? I can't fall in love now. Yeah, we go crazy how do you? I was gonna play me like a fool. Crazy. Why we gotta fight so much? But your body's so amazing. That's why I try for us. Body let me talk to me, baby. Body let me talk to me, baby. Hey. Body let me talk to me, baby. Talk, talk to me, baby. Please tell me why we gotta fight so much. You know I try. You know I try for us. You so demanding. Take my love for granted, and I don't understand it. Oh. You give me the cold when I try to get intimate. I'm like the Pentagon, baby. Don't negotiate with terrorists. Talk to me, baby. Talk, talk to me, baby.
Hey, good morning, Mel. One second.
Hi.
All right. I can hear you. I was trying to get my computer and stuff up.
Hello? I'm not sure if I'm being heard.
I can hear you, Mel.
Oh, that's terrific. All right.
All right. Yeah, yeah. I'm still moving around. How you doing? I was just putting on a couple of videos right quick while I was getting this thing
Mm.
together. It's been a minute since I've been I went
Yeah,
live.
I don't see my icon. Um,
I got you.
Your
Yeah, I had changed it.
no, it's all right.
Yeah. All right. There we go. I got it now. It's been a lot. Been a minute since I've been on. I did the
Stream, yes.
yeah StreamYard thing or just live in general. I just had to start my
Mm-hmm.
mornings off though, man. Listening to some
Mm-hmm.
music, clean.
I can, yeah. I was saying when I first appeared on the panel and I couldn't be heard, I was saying that there was a good conversational flow occurring, and I
Hmm.
wanted you to continue your thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we were just talking about how we communicate on YouTube and how we can, I just how we avoid certain things, but it is what it is. But you was talking about,
Mm,
things that each individual that know, been
mm.
educated on, experienced, or just into, those,
Yes.
yeah.
We all have
Instead of going
talent,
with the,
skills, and abilities that we can offer as enhancement to our people. And it's frustrating when, something in the universe interferes. Want to blame the individual that,
hmm
you know, what I believe in fate, right? A
hmm
lot of people don't want to discuss the concept of fate because they've been through so many egregious occurrences that they refuse to accept that it would be their fate to have experienced it. So it's difficult for me to talk to people about the concept of fate, and that's understandable.
what about karma though?
Like that as well. Some people don't want
Yeah.
to believe in karma because
Mhm.
for one reason or another.
And then what's the
And
top three? Karma, you got what for? Karma, fate, God's way, or what comes around goes around, or the energy you put out.
uh,
I mean, there got a lot of those.
yeah, right. And it just it's difficult to talk openly with some people about that, depending on what they've been through. And so, I find it to be very isolating, right? To
Right.
crave to want to have a discussion about the concept of those, things that you mentioned. It's kind of difficult, like because I've encountered people that have been through a lot of stuff that I don't blame them for not wanting to count it as their fate or their karma. I don't blame
Mm,
them for not, that's there's this one person um that, well, I won't say they're my mentor, but they experienced things and they did some things to the point where they don't want to talk about the topic of
fate and karma. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
life is life, just let it be. That's their motto. And so without going into anything too deep, since we already are familiar with, how we converse, and our interest is sharing what has enhanced us as individuals, and we're not too arrogant to think that we're a guru in anything. We just believe that it's useful
I,
information that can help somebody, so
I
we have that in common.
pick and choose. I try to take the betterment out of some of those situations. Or at least learn something. Yeah, but that's like everybody got quite a few people have something to offer. you know, and I just focused on that. So I don't get into that gender thing. I'm at
Yeah.
it. I'm at to find me somebody to purge for the next purge. Though.
Right,
Ain't
right.
hey, what's up, AP? What's that?
I
We
wasn't
just
even,
we
I
was just
wasn't
over
even,
on Big Mac's channel, and I just decided to go live. We was on a conversation about you know YouTube and different things that we learn from people is outside of the beefing and stuff like that, the unnecessary beefing at least. I definitely agree. Some of y'all have some people have some things to address, but you
hmm
know those kind of things. So I personally think, and I haven't been coming out the clouds long, but I think some of that other stuff will tone. Some of those big topics or those big albums go tone down. And it's gonna get to the everyday people type of thing where you can have regular topics. That's usually the areas I hang around. Where you can actually have a conversation and
that's,
disagree. But
yeah,
like you said,
right.
every time it seemed like every time y'all channels start coming up a little bit, you got some dumb shit y'all got to deal with. You got to deal with though.
hmm
Hey, we
Yeah, I've
don't have
noticed
time.
that too. It's crazy. It's man, at this point, I don't even know what to say. Believe it or not, I'm rarely speechless. I just don't know what to say because of the pattern of how people that are actually interested in delivering assistive and enhancing information somehow get derailed by the crap. It's just for the longest time it just makes it seem like our people aren't meant to be anything other than ignorant, right?
No,
And
thinking like that. I think every talk we having the ignorance. We don't got the patent on ignorance. That's for sure. I just think that when people with public platforms, you will have some of that. I think it's a personality thing. You'll have some of that. Just like that,
yeah,
cock and stuff like that, and people always, want to come in, steal ideas, and or like y'all be saying some f shit,
yeah. Let me see if I could get
Just calm
something
down.
in.
The more channels come up, where the average everyday person can talk, that's going to eventually grow. And the Kevin Samuels and them talking funny. I mean, how long? They're gonna run with it but Kevin Samuels gone. So it's just notice that things are breaking off a little bit, at least in my opinion. Y'all got a little more insight on that. But it's gonna do what it do.
Okay, I just put a link to a man that has a recipe to prevent, all types. Basically, what he's introducing is a concoction of natural ingredients that substitute for the need for antibiotics. People, when they receive antibiotics from, pharmaceuticals, they're tearing up their gut lining, right? they're destroying the good microbiome. Like they're
Yeah,
destroying the good bacteria
if I'm not
as
mistaken, it's a mucus
right,
line that goes with that,
right.
with
Yeah,
saying,
they're
yeah.
they're
So, yeah, I think
yeah, that
Aspirin was doing that or something.
I say what?
Was aspirin doing that or something like that?
It's anything man made is gonna tear up your stomach. It's just that's because man made ingredients weren't meant to be digested by the human body. You know, they're adding fillers and chemicals and things that aren't meant to uh, be processed by the liver or the pancreas or the kidneys. And so, you know, there's a lot of extra work that has to be put in to detoxify those foreign substances. And then on top of that, we haven't even gotten into the realm of the food, right? There are people that are using uh, bad oils, uh, you know, oils that are like Wesson and Crisco. And you know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with deep frying your foods, but the oil that you use is only suitable for like, you know, greasing a squeaky wheel. It's not fit for human consumption. And so if you prolong yourself into buying margarine and stuff like that, next thing you know, you're sick and you don't know why. It's because some of the food that the FDA has approved is actually not fit for human consumption. But they won't tell you that. What they'll do is they'll alter their sense of priority to balance a profit influence of lobbyists along with their commitment to the benefit of the public, right? It's a real tricky game. The way they switch role, they look. I just found out today that this ingredient called maltodextrin, is actually a sugar, right? It actually raises your that has no sugar in it. And then you go to this little section in the nutrient added sugars because you thought that was a slick ass trick. And he's like, okay, well, I know I'm supposed to look for no added sugars. Well, check this out. They don't have to. So people that they're gobbling up these nutrient drinks, these health drinks, and they look for the sugar content. Okay, no sugar or no added sugar. No, look at the actual ingredient because legally they are obligated to list the ingredients. And for those that they're not obligated to list, they'll put natural flavors. It's all types of fucking Rubik's Cube trap ass games the FDA is playing with us, man. It's crazy. It's like, and I've experimented with myself, right? Because I was trying to figure out what causes my blood circulation to be less than optimal. And I have found that a trusted product, a supposedly trusted product, actually promotes, blood, it impedes blood flow. So it's labeled as healthy, it's promoted as healthy, and it has ingredients that causes heartburn and impedes blood flow. And, it has citric acid and multidextrin, but they don't require it to be labeled as bad for you because the FDA is in bed with the lobbyists that are attached to the pharmaceutical industry that wants people to be sick in the first fucking place. So my point is there is a natural way to hedge off, pathogens that would make you sick in the first place. And that's the link that I put in the back chat for you. Because this shit is serious out here. And the reason why I put this specific person's link in the chat, in the back chat, is because he's changing his game. He's sounding, and I've been watching him for years, and he is getting increasingly censored, right? Because he's just spilling so much life-giving information. He's being increasingly censored. And I can tell that he's just going to resign himself to just chill on his property and make money off his his vitamins and whatever else he got going on outside of YouTube. I can feel that this man is going to disappear from YouTube. Because I could see it. I could see all these doctors whose YouTube channels I've relied upon to teach me about how my metabolism and how the human body works and how everything is synergistic. They are being censored. They're being censored because they're starting to hold back. They're starting to hesitate. They're starting to announce disclaimers. They're starting to shorten their videos and just say the bare necessities. And even now, they're starting to venture into other things that have nothing to do with giving health and nutrition advice. So, it's getting serious out here. The pharmaceutical companies are not playing. They want their money, and they don't care if they got to kill you to get it. And I suggest that we look at the old ways of doing things and rely on that, as opposed to trusting some man-made medication that's going to tear up your liver and God knows whatever other organs. I'm sorry if if I sound a little fatigued. But I've been up for a couple of hours. Yeah, I hear you now.
Me? Oh, all right. Yeah, that was me. I'm still playing around with you.
Aunt T was up here earlier. I didn't give him a chance to talk. I apologize, brother.
That's all right.
Aunt T.
I got to get with Aunt T anyway because he was telling me,
Hello? Hello? Are you there?
Even Toyota, when they had the recall on the brakes and stuff like that, the stock drops a little bit and then goes right back up. It's like there's no punishment for that. They just pay that out and just keep on going. And there's no love for the people or the citizens. Especially not even through the government. That's why my issue, my thing is politically, I can understand conservative values for those, but my biggest problem is the GOP. Those the ones that are mess over I've noticed that messed over the people the most. Like the big energy companies and big oil companies, shit like that. They really the pharmaceutical companies, prisons, those kind of companies. Those the ones.
Yeah.
And so when I go and I had these I had the conversation with Gunnar and I was like, well, hold on, bro. You consider let's take the race because you say you're a nationalist, go say you're a nationalist. Well, why y'all don't go against the damn GOP then? You voting with the same thing that's fucking people.
What did he say?
Well, he was still thinking about country and stuff like that, and it was just a passing conversation. I can't quote exactly what he was saying, but those kind of things there, or the fact that police killing white folks. I seen them handle and abuse white people too, but y'all not standing for that. But we get out there and protest and stuff like that, and the same thing happened. But y'all won't stand against that shit. So that's why I don't understand what's the strength of being a white nationalist or nationalist in general if you ain't gonna stand for the citizens of the country.
Well,
so that's why my thing is against the GOP. And when they remember Aaron Brockovich when they put the power line, had to sue the power companies and stuff. Now you have Trump that just lift the ban on. Now you can, now you can dump, these oil companies can dump waste back into the, our regular streams and lakes. How y'all vote, that makes no damn sense to me for what you say that you are. So, I don't get that part as far as voting, on that side at this day and time.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Politics is a very, very slippery slope.
Mhm.
As you know, as far as the investments go, is there any investment that you find yourself to personally be offended by, but the profit margin is too irresistible? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think would have been an issue is that, like, let's say you can actually buy a stock in, well, I want to say a particular group of private prisons. That would kind of make you feel a little funny. Like, okay, well, my business is based on growth, and that means locking a lot of people up, and that society would do that unjustly. That'd be a moral issue. But then again, with that, there are 5 or 10 major companies like Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and now these, AT&T, that benefits from those prison systems because that's how they
right.
use all their products. So
Exactly. It's all interconnected.
I was
So
telling
if
somebody one
you
day that you already
go ahead.
invested in it. Your 401k is all tied up in that shit.
Right, and they don't even know it because they're
Mhm.
not looking at the synergy. Everything about that prison that's on that stock market,
Mhm.
investing in cap,
You're looking for growth.
right, exactly. So it's in
Looking for
their
growth.
financial interest to make sure that black men commit crimes so they
Mhm.
can stock those prisons, right? And everything that is how can I put this? Itemized as a inventory in that prison, from
Mhm.
soda pops to oodles and noodles to toothpaste. You know, your 401k is directly going into those products
Mhm.
that are being utilized within those institutions whose sole intent is to make sure that some cop on the street feels his quota to harass a black man to
Mhm.
the
Right.
point where that black man is accused of resisting arrest and God knows whatever else. The next thing you know, he's in their stock market prison, you know? And so it's a very, very, it's all interconnected, and it's it's a trip. It's a trip, At the same time, you have to make sure. I told my son this, to be honest with you. I said, your job,
Mhm.
in accordance with this capitalist society, is to make as much money as you can as
Mhm.
soon as you can. That's your job. By almost any legal means necessary. That's your job. And you will find one day you'll be glad that you have that nest egg to rely upon when shit hits the fan,
Mhm.
you know. And
Yeah.
and so I'm I'm just I'm because even let's say somebody owns a restaurant, right?
Mhm.
Right?
Right.
So you have to stock your place with the inventory that's associated with that prison, the prison complex that's on the stock market. That's directly
Well, you
and
almost can't avoid it.
financially.
You almost can't avoid it.
You can't. That's my point. It's like, so really, when it comes to setting yourself up for financial independence, you can't be soft,
Mhm.
and you can't be soft in your feelings. You have to. It's just like back in the 1800s when certain families had brothels, right? They went on west. They started these little towns,
Right.
and they had brothels, right? They
Or
had
brought it, or they
tavern.
brought the extras with them.
They had taverns and so they sold liquor and they had hookers, and they made massive amounts of money that they invested in real estate, and then they took that real estate profit and invested in another real, and so on and so on, and next thing you know, they got a family that's been wealthy for 100 years.
Right. They can't go broke.
Right.
Hold on
So
1 second. Yeah, hold on 1 second. What y'all looking
uh,
at? This is a video. Yeti, sax, stuff like that. Conscious. This a video. 2015, and this is when we were all. This is right after Katrina and stuff like that, and a lot of people didn't know where their families were because they were still all scattered. And then what they did was they put a notice around to all the different areas throughout the states that we went to, and what people did, even if you know where people were dislocated at, because you hadn't heard from your people in a long time, like years, some of them. So what they did was they announced a second line. So you went back, even though the city wasn't rebuilt, you went back to your area and different divisions in the city led, by a band at a meetup point so you can see your relatives and stuff. That's this video here.
all right.
Yeah, so that's what they're looking at. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let it play. Actually, I'm gonna get all kinds of strikes, but I ain't worried about that.
Fair use for educational purposes.
I ain't fair you. Damn, my little thing ain't going. I got too many damn screens in here. So this was when they met up under, on a particular point, which is the Treme area. And that's where they had all the music and stuff throughout New Orleans. But I'm going to turn it up for them. Give me a sec. I got to run and do something. What you say, T? How you making out, big brother?
Good morning, man. What's up, Kev? What's up, Mello?
Hey,
I'm chilling, man. It's,
can you all hear me?
I
Yeah, we
can
can hear you.
barely hear you. I don't know if
Yeah, you
that's on
kind
my
of.
end. This is the first time I've jumped on anything on my computer device because I moved everything into the other my guest bedroom. So I'm trying to set up a
Sounds like it's
studio.
working fine.
Okay, so it's
I
working
can't say
fine.
the
Cool.
same for myself.
Yeah, it sound good.
All right.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it
sound
was a
My
simple move.
my
right.
avatar is not illuminating when I talk, so I'm not sure if I can be heard.
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know why it's not doing that though, but I'm on stream, y'all. See, that's why I got. That's why NT, like we was
Huh.
talking earlier, man.
Mhm.
Mel, I go to NT to find out which streams to buy for, the stuff like that was worth my money. He told me once. I'm gonna have to ask him again when I get ready to go live and stuff. He was telling me we were talking about the clarity because when I made the first couple videos about the stocks, you can, when I looked at it, it's not clear enough on a chart. So he was telling me you could, it's different clarity with that with the price.
Yeah. Yeah, and it says it too. It says it too, especially and I don't know about the sound quality, but I
Mhm.
definitely know about like the picture resolution.
Right. See, that's what
Yeah.
we're talking about, Melon. Niggas don't want to read certain shit they ain't into. That's why we can ask. He know,
Mhm.
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
how we can get some information. He just saved me a lot of time. See, that's worth my while. That's the kind of shit.
Enhancement, right?
Right.
Enhancement. It's about sharing
Save
our
me time and money.
individual, yeah, individual talent, skills, and abilities of enhancement with one another. You know.
hmm Like
Mm.
for me, I'd have been all up and paying Zoom extra and the other shit, and just to I'd have had to go through a couple like T did to had to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's valuable
And
information.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you
It
share.
it tell it tells you with the different tiers with StreamYard, like you get different picture resolution
hmm
when you pay a little bit more.
Yeah, good.
So,
And then you can also add more people, right?
well, yeah, with there there are only three tiers with StreamYard. So the first one is, you know what I'm saying, is basic. You have
Do you
six
like
people on the
using that
panel.
better than Zoom?
I do because of the banners, the overlays, the graphics. They're just easier to
Yeah.
access. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just really basic. You know what I'm saying? Because you can just do it. But if you just put the work in with Zoom, you can set it all up the same way. It just takes a
Yeah, I
little bit
don't need
more.
nothing super. I don't
Yeah,
need nothing super high tech or anything. Just the basics is good enough for me with some clarity.
yeah. But StreamYard kind of like charge you for extra, like, you know what I'm saying? Zoom got basic just basic service where you
Mhm.
can have a bunch of people on your stream, whereas StreamYard gonna charge you to have more than six
Right.
people on the stream. Then they charge you more just to have a couple of people backstage. Then they charge you more just to have extra people as co-hosts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So
don't mind. I can respect the game
yeah,
long as it works for me, as long as I can.
As long as it
yeah.
works.
No, just understand what you need. Like I got to downgrade mine. Like I needed the like when I did the purge and everything, I needed a certain amount of I needed like a few extra co-hosts, and I also needed to be able to have people backstage when I still had a panel with 10 people, because people see 10 people
Right.
up there and they still click the link anyway. So
Now, is that a monthly option, or is it a year's commitment?
nah, it's a monthly. You go month to month.
Mhm.
Oh, that's good.
So you can change. I changed mine from month to month.
Yeah. And see now, I was just doing my taxes, so I was taking all that in. I was like, okay, well, I can write this part off on taxes. This I can do the month to month off taxes, and now I'm just getting in category of what my tax write off would be. What
Mhm.
with my computer equipment and stuff like that, which is a lovely
Yeah,
thing. I wish I'd have known this.
it is coming. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if people who are content creators, can they write off their housing costs since they are conducting business in their home? If they actually, have it set up.
It depends on how they have YouTube set up, how they have it set up with YouTube. I mean, you can write off anything. The question is how you gonna fare when you get audited. If you get
Mm.
audited, I mean, you
Well,
can write
yeah,
off
I
whatever you
mean,
want.
how can you? write it off without worrying about the audit.
I mean, you never really know when you're gonna. Kev will tell you this: you never really know when they're gonna audit you.
That's
You know
true. You
what I'm
know,
saying?
and like I said last time, Mel, you know, hell, if you that, you know, just to make sure you straight, you know, well, you can also pay someone to do your taxes. I'll go down there to the office, to the tax place, and you know, and ask them what can I write off. I mean, it's kind of written now for me. I found out that I can write off my this room in my house as an office, and I think it's up to a certain dollar amount or percentage per square foot, which is fine.
See,
And
that's
then I can
good.
write off, you know, because I don't know about YouTube creators, but you know, just the stock thing, I could file for a Schedule C, which is equivalent, damn near equivalent to the same write off as a LLC, because I say I do this for a living. I'm sure it might do the same thing for YouTube folks, and even with a Schedule C, I can have a full-time job somewhere making more money than I do in my home and still say this is my main source of income in my house. You write a rent, guard. I can write some of the medical stuff for my dog because I'm in my house. And even so now I'm like, okay, now I can write off these damn vet bills. The dog,
But
it says a guard
it,
dog.
but is it
Hmm.
allowable?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
This is what I did this year.
Okay.
Right. And if you're not sure, I just went through the guidelines. And if you're not sure, just go down there and ask
That's the truth.
No, that's it.
or call. Yeah, I mean, make an appointment. I mean, you pay your tax dollars for it instead of having somebody do it, and you know, you get stuck. You ain't trying to get stuck. You're just trying to write off everything as legal as you possibly can. Now, some
And,
folks hire
and
lawyers for
that's
that.
without cost. Right, that exactly.
Right.
Instead of paying a lawyer, you can do it without cost by going to the
Yeah,
door.
go down there, shit. Before they come at you, just go check.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I would always hire a trained professional to do that
Hmm.
when I'm going between me and the IRS because you never know. And not only that, I just feel like that's just good for the economy. You know, I let the accountants do my taxes. That's just me though. You know, that's just me. I see a lot of people they try to save money when it comes to that stuff, and I don't mind
People
paying three
mind.
hundred bucks.
Yeah, people
Hey,
mind.
Mela Mahogany said, can you turn your volume up? Because you do sound a little low, but we can hear you.
Oh, I
I got
don't know.
mahogany roots in the building. Oh,
Mhm.
and Miss Virtuous Woman
How
TV,
you doing, dear?
sexual intellectual. What's up, ladies?
All right, we
Hi,
just
lady.
carried over a conversation from Big J, and we're just chopping it up because we was up early.
Yeah, I was a little
Mhm.
bit busy. I was like, I'm not going to join into
I've
that.
been up
Big J don't
I've
want a
been up
brain
for
aneurysm first
hours.
thing in the morning anyway. I was just kind of mess with him. But yeah, I did. I know I shared your video out. So I was
Mhm.
like, man, we got to come over and chop it up with Kev 504 because we'll never be catching you.
Right, yeah. Well, I've been working on that set, man. You know, with the movie thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was on Bomb
Brown
Channel, and
sugar, right?
I'm working on, yeah, Queen Sugar, Brown Sugar.
Queen.
Look at you. Queen Sugar, man, and
All right.
it's a series, and it's a 7 series about a black family losing their their farmland, in their sugarcane fields, right? And they have these old, the town trying to take it from them and stuff like that. And you got the sheriff in, the banks in, not giving them a break, and some flim flam. The way they stole land is pretty much what it is. So, I worked as a stand-in, and what I did was I make video. I made a little short video, and me, bro. I'm gonna put it out there. Whatever I learned, I'm gonna put it out there so everybody can know. And I was explaining to them, the different, how I got in on that. Now I work directly with the main actors and the director. That's good experience, and I can bring my daughter in now. And you know what's holding me up with my daughter, Mel? The vaccination. I wanted to see what the vaccination of kids
Mm.
thing is before I brought my daughter down there, because I don't want to be 5 years later saying that they done messed up something with these pharmaceutical companies. We can't handle that. My daughter can't handle children and shit. So I was kind of holding off for the research on the kids. But anyway, I was just showing them how, like you can get on as a background when and how to go to the website and put your little portfolio up, just a picture, side, face, height, and put your, body type in, and they'll call you in, and they're sending emails looking for background actors for, some of the sets movies that's being shot in the area. Now, when they do that, they'll ask, "Are you available to come in?" And then I actually made videos walking them through, like, okay, what they're gonna do now. You sign in, what you're gonna get paid here for this show might be 150, and then if you have to take the COVID vaccine test, they pay you extra 50, and then they're gonna ask you to do it twice, so that's an extra 50 for about 8 hour day, right? So you need a couple of extra side money, and I actually bring my laptop in there, and I'm just killing two birds with one stone because I'm still doing my trade, and I kind of showed them how it go, So, but now they put me on they hired me as a stand-in, meaning I work directly with the actors and director, as a stand-in, and I kind of all it is you kind of mimic the main actors and their movements so they can set the cameras up when they do different angles. So you right there with them. So if somebody you see an actor walk around the car where a stand-in did it first, so they can get the camera angles right and then they bring on the actors, so they don't have, because that might take damn near 30 minutes, an hour to sit there and do that, but they pay you extra for that. And then if you have a speaking role, only the ones that speak in movies really make decent money. So, then if they offer you a little speaking role, then you get that, and then when you get a SIP card, and then you get unionized, they'll call you
That's
first
what I was going to ask, whether or not
in that
you have
area.
to have a union card.
Right. Well, you got to work with them so long, and then the union asked like 3 months. I'm not sure what it is. That never was my thing. They just asked me to kind of what I would be interested in doing the rest of the season. So I was just kind of showing them how that worked.
Yeah, that's what's up because a lot of people they want to break into the theater industry or the
Movie
movie
industry.
industry
Hmm.
without actually going through the rigmarole of trucking it out to Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Well, yeah, because see now they're starting to film in New Orleans. They got another brother that just bought 20 acres of land that's going to build a movie studio like Tyler Perry. They got some stuff going on in North Carolina, Florida got some stuff. Even if it's just
Yep.
some commercials in the local area, that's just kind of how they work with it. But you can
Yep.
get your name in there. They'll hit you up first. It ain't much of like you're gonna make a living off it, but it's extra money. And if you want to pursue that, then you go to an area where they got a lot of filming, especially if you got a little experience or want to tap in. But these are the levels that some of them go to. If you want to work your way in, especially if you did any kind of musical theater or drama class. I mean, and you want to shoot your shot, being on the set is going to kind of get you well around it. At least you can find out where you want to go.
Exactly. Without
Yeah,
the
now
rigmarole.
you got definitely gotta be there. Just being in those circles,
Mm-hmm.
gives you the better chance. Definitely gives you the
Right.
better chance. You got people like Cuba Gooding Jr. There's a lot of people that they that are big stars and they started as just extras or just being in commercials and
Yeah,
shit. It's
Anthony
like,
Anderson. And you
yeah,
remember right, what's your boy named? The singer, the boy black dog skin dude, who played in
who
uh
Tyrese?
yeah, you remember he did the Coca-Cola commercial.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
stuff like that. You get in, but just being in that environment is gonna get you
What
up. Now
more do you want from me? That's not funny, but
yeah, it is. I mean, he put it out there. I mean,
Yeah. I
he
mean,
put
if I'm
it.
not mistaken, I think Tyrese was doing some dancing.
Mm,
Like doing some dancing in videos. I could be wrong about that, but even before he was singing, he was doing and did any
I mean,
commercials, he was doing some dancing and
mhm.
like Usher videos and stuff. So,
yeah.
I mean, you
I mean,
got to be in those circles.
Tupac was a dancer for Humpty Hump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I think he did some vocals too, but yeah, he was part of Digital Underground with Shock G. Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta start
definitely.
somewhere. Gotta start somewhere. And
Oh.
so, can you walk a person through the process, right? Like, say, for instance, they live in New Orleans or South Carolina or Florida. They just go up to the studio and say, I want to be an extra, or do they apply online somewhere? How do they go about getting their foot in the door?
Well, they got what they put out there is they got places called like I go through with a company called My Casting File, right? And what they do is they kind of link up. It's a company that link up the shows that's coming to the city. Or you can check, the advertising in the paper too. Looking for extras and stuff like that. But My Casting File will just give you emails of what they're looking for, and then they got another casting company. So look for the casting companies for extras or background, and that's the first thing. So, and what they'll do is they'll tell you something like, they'll give you information like we're looking for, like an audience between ages 18 and older, or we
Oh,
looking for jury selection.
Kev, I'm sorry to cut you off. I
Mhm.
just saw this comment. Mahogany said, she asked me to remind you to keep dropping the link, or make somebody a
Oh yeah,
mod so they can put the link in there because you don't have no mods, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, I
because
ain't
he
started
doesn't
like that.
go live frequently. Yeah, put the
Mm-mm.
link in there. Um,
Now you
Okay,
could
and
pin it if you want. Like if you
yeah.
don't mind
do you know
anybody
how to
coming
pin
up,
the
you can
link?
just pin it.
No, I don't
And do
be
you know
talking to
how to
none of
do an
these.
overlay?
I don't want to talk to half these niggas on YouTube. No. Yeah, I'm offended. I'm just figuring, just getting back live and just figuring it out because most of my stuff, other than us chatting the last time, it was just already recorded or I
Oh,
did it and then posted it, so I didn't do it
well,
necessarily
what's
live.
a good
So
tool
that's why I was
is
going to NT to see before I start going live. I wanted to
mhm.
get that, the clarity of, so I could show the charts and stuff like that. But I'll put it up there. I know how to pin I'll put the link, put the link back in the chat.
Yeah, yeah, man. I experiment a lot. Like, bro, over the course of a stream, I probably switch back and forth between 3 different microphones.
So I
Um,
don't have to.
yeah.
Yeah, I went through 2 microphones, man. I had that Blue Yeti, and no
Mm.
disrespect to Yeti in the group. I had the Blue Yeti, but that was okay. Then I wound up getting what is this? The Shure 7, and that
Mm.
worked fine. And then I think that cost 200 and something, a couple bucks, but it
Mm.
worked better because I can hear it. Then it's one of them, the stock thing or whatever. And now I got my daughter on that Minecraft and try to get in the Minecraft algorithm. If I'm gonna do that, them kids, she stay on there, so you might as well do your thing.
Well, that's cool. What's up with those NFTs I keep hearing about?
I haven't really dug into NFTs. Some people, and too much. No more than I would have dug in. I do. I know the Bitcoin and the swing trading and stuff like that, but I haven't dug into NFT to see how they work. I'm not sure if they
Right.
bind space or stuff like that.
Yeah, cause
There's a
it's
lot of
real
things out there
strange.
because you.
It's strange. It's very strange.
Yeah, I haven't read. I don't know too much about it. I haven't dug into it just too far.
Yeah. Another thing, if you start going live and hosting panels, a good feature is the overlay, so that you can um, ensure that whoever's going to appear on your panel is of good accord. You know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I ain't gonna get too much. Yeah, that would be a thing probably.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many features are available with StreamYard.
Yeah, there are a lot. I'm finding new ones like all of the time. Bro, believe it or not, like I just found the virtual backgrounds. Of course they work better with like green screen and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you can just fire up a virtual back. I didn't even know it. You know, because I wasn't paying attention when looking for it. Um,
So your house, not you in particular, but a person's house could be a complete wreck. But as long as they got that green screen and they can put up the,
Right.
they can put up the
yeah,
virtual background.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like nah, this room behind me, this is a wreck. Like you see all of this garbage behind me right
that's
now.
not a wreck. I've seen a wreck. That's not a wreck.
Oh, trust me, I
I've
moved some
seen
of the stuff
people.
out of the way, but it's
I've
a
seen people
mess.
that's got laundry all over the damn place
Nah, nah,
to the
nah. If
point
I got
where
laundry all over the place, I don't need to be on YouTube. I need to do my laundry.
exactly. That's what I was
Yeah,
asking. I was like,
yeah.
don't you have some domestic chores to do before you go live? You know,
Mm.
what did you all? You know, uh, Kev and I were on Big J's panel, and we were discussing all types of things about the nature of people's intentions as to why they interrupt somebody trying to enhance somebody's life, you know. And I was discussing how I wonder if it's fate that someone, for instance, such as Kev, he's trying to introduce, he's on somebody's panel, not his own channel, he's on somebody's panel, and he's introducing materials of information that will enhance their life. And next thing you know, the fuck shit comes through, right? The fuck shit, the fuckery, you know, out of nowhere. He's talking about, yeah, this is how I access this to obtain stocks, and this is how much it costs. And, he's just generous with it, just setting it out. And here comes somebody with the fuck shit to interrupt what would otherwise enhance the audience and their interest of prosperity, or at least transferring, a sense of betterment to their consciousness in case they want to do it later. But here comes the fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was discussing with Cass whether or not it's fate that our people are destined to endure the hurdles and challenges of ignorance.
That's a good question. Um, I mean, I try to approach it just like I would any other business, and I'm like, look, who are you? Where have you been? Where, like, who are you now? Where have you been, and where do you want to go? And I'm just like, look, if that's who you are, and that's what you built your brand on, find a way to turn that into a business, even if it is fuckery.
No, 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 no. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he like I'm
Now,
talking about
I know what you're
how a
saying, but
person's
like Kev's a
intentions.
naturally he's a naturally helpful person. So,
Right, but then
mm,
somebody comes along and interrupts his groove of being generous by disturbing his sensibility. It's like, why are you calling me what they call you, like, somebody just comes along and calls him all types of derogatory names and insult his character, and and all types of accusations that frustrates him, not frustrates him, because I can't say whether or not he was frustrated, but it derails his initial intention to enhance his people. It's like, okay, my intention on this panel is to enhance our people, and here comes somebody that wants to call me all types of names out of the blue and wants to challenge my character and sense of what it would be about me as a man and how I operate in life, and that distracts from his intention originally to enhance our people. I don't like that. I don't like when somebody is good natured enough to share enhancing information with our people, and here comes a hater out of the blue that wants to challenge this person that's distributing information that could benefit your life. That shit is so spooky to me, man. It's like,
yeah.
okay, he's actually
Yeah,
exhilarating.
I
And
think
other
that's people
people,
gonna be that people gonna be that way because they look for something. Some people like
where the
drama, and
fuck
then
do
when
these haters
and then
come
when
from, man?
yeah, and when I come into space, they thinking I'm falling in there and have to choose sides between man and fan or defending them. So Nah, I didn't come here for that. That's why I pick and choose the sites I go to. Look what I put up there, y'all. This is the cat. This is one of the companies that's in New Orleans. Excuse me. It's called mycastingfile.com. And they will start sending you emails and stuff like that if you want to get into that. And that's how I started. You put up a little portfolio, stuff like that. They even have an app that, if they need someone in the area looking for commercial background and stuff like that, that's what they could do. It's free to sign up. And I think if you want to make a video or do something like that to add to your portfolio, then they let you do that. They even do it for the kids, stuff like that. So
Yep.
casting files like that is a way to get notified if they need people in the area.
Yep. Because some children are theatrical as opposed to academic or mathematical, and they're destined to be performance artists.
Oh
And,
yeah, look, they're not. And see that the stereo. We grew up thinking that you had to go to Juilliard and do some stage plays, and you don't have to do all of that. Really, all you have to do is just go be in there, be around stuff like that, and then stuff like that, or get in the background mode, and then they're if they're looking for someone. There's been times that they were looking for a particular person to do a small part instead of hiring the mainstream actors. They might plug you in and say, "Can you send a little audition for this part?" And then
and
they'll send you the script, and then you make a video and send it in. Like that. I did that for interview with a vampire. They filming a series here, and then my daughter did one for Disney. And that's how you do it. And then there's you select if they can and stuff like that. But once you have a speaking role, okay, well now you in a different bracket because you get what a SIP card or something like I forgot the name of it. It's similar to that. And then now you qualify for speaking roles. So when you go in, you get a different rate of pay. And then you go on a different area. And they'll put you in a different area for speaking roles. Like I'm in the background next to speaking role.
yep. And if it's your fate, serendipity would take its course, and next thing you know, you're on the Oscar stage slapping Chris Rock. I'm sorry, that was bad.
Boy, that's all over the internet there, man. I saw some memes and some stuff, boy, that you can't even help but laugh, man.
Yeah,
When they ain't gonna
I'm
let it
kind of
go.
tired. Yeah, I'm tired of talking
People,
about it
yeah,
per
people ain't
se.
gonna let it go,
Per
man.
se,
That's why I never
But
did. I try to tell people that look, man, we control this algorithm, so we don't want to talk about something we don't have to. But whatever. Some people made a bag on it. Do what you got to do. I chose not to talk about that. I am going to talk about it, but after it dies down. So,
okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, but they're gonna have more stuff to
Yeah,
come. I think that's just the biggest algorithm.
yeah.
People starting to know each other and getting to know each other. That's key. That's 101. And
now,
then
Big J was suggesting in his live stream that we just came from that one way to alter your algorithm is to unsubscribe from certain types of people. People that no, and that's what he's saying.
He's yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I've been going at people like this for a minute now, and I'm gonna keep going out. He's
Yeah,
gonna tell you anything to get people unsubscribed to. No,
yeah,
any
yeah. That was
yeah.
kind of wild. That was a wild concept.
Just because you know
That you know,
how many people come up in your feed, your recommended feed that you're not subscribed to every day.
three at least.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, unless you actually hit the live button or look at your channel subscriptions, usually hundreds of people are gonna come, hundreds of different videos are gonna come up in your feed.
Mhm. You know what trips me out is I've noticed the pattern of depending on whose channel that I've pressed upon. If I look at the follow down portion, right, of different videos that are next available, that indicates what their algorithm is. That shit tripped me out because, say, for instance, now I haven't clocked this as a science, what I've noticed is a pattern. Say, for instance, I click Kev's live stream, and then if I press the button that retracts to the chat room, and then there are a series of videos that are next available, apparently that's what that content creator is into. That's tell me I'm tripping
I mean, yeah,
because
yes and no. I mean, it's a lot of different things. Sometimes it's just the words that are spoken on a stream. Like, look, if we say a certain content creator's name too many times in this stream, they will start coming up. And like we'll start coming up in feed when somebody searches for them, and they'll start coming up in our feed. I've seen it.
when
I've
I
I've, ac- I've actually done it on a live stream, where we,
well
we
I'm
was
gonna do
asking somebody
further
that was on my
research.
panel to stop saying this person's name. They said it like 3 times, and boom, all I had to do is do a search for that person, and my video while I'm live came right up in their search.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
when I searched for them. So I mean it. Yeah. And then they ended up coming over to the channel, and it helped for the channel to get views and likes and fuckery to pop off. But still, it's that algorithm is weird. Keep in mind, like YouTube had their own originally, Google has their own, and they're gonna keep it a secret. We ain't never gonna know how they do it. That's why
Well,
they are who they are.
it's fascinating. It's as
Yeah.
fascinating as the Rubik's cube to study it.
Yeah.
Now, what I
Yeah, I'm,
will
I'm just I'm
say
just
is,
saying, like they're who they are because they keep their algorithm a secret.
hmm
Well, yeah, how they run it.
I personally don't believe there's any such thing as a secret. Anything can be discovered if you try.
Yeah, it can be deciphered, but I mean, you just be able to create. I mean, they're consistently changing things all the time. I just look. It's up to us what we watch. It's up to us what we talk about. So I'm like, if we want to sit there and talk about celebrity news and celebrity gossip and all of that other stuff, then that's what's going to
hmm
trend. But
Now,
if we just ignore it, nobody's going to care.
another technique that's utilized is the hashtag. When somebody uses the hashtag in front of a more popular person's name, it adds to their algorithm. Um, and what I have just heard today, and it was just in passing, because I don't necessarily pay attention to this particular individual's live stream like that. But in passing, it this individual said that from now on, people that use my name have got to give me my pay, you know, and he didn't make it. He didn't get specific as to how he was going to implement that, but he's figured out a way for everybody that's using his name and a hashtag that's bringing traffic to that content creator's channel. He's figured out a way to have whatever they profit from it, he's going to be able to get a part of it. I thought that was fascinating.
As he should be able to do that. Um, he should be able to do that. I don't see a problem with it. I'm not gonna bother. Hell, if you want to use, like, if I could become my own hashtag, cool. And what I've noticed lately, people are hashtagging the purge. Pretty funny, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
People have been hashtagging that shit.
I'm
Are
telling you,
they
man, that
using
first thing gonna be good.
are they using the purge or just purge?
They're just purge.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's coming up in like different algorithms. I'm like, man, it's cool. I thought it was pretty cool. Whatever.
Yeah, that hashtag is definitely a technique. Definitely.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, every now and then, like, I'll go into an old video or something like that, and I'll put hashtags in them. Um, there are just a lot of things that we can do. Like, 'cause I know for the most part we do live streams. In this sector we do live streams, and those live streams can go kind of long. They can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. Mine can go 10, 11 hours sometimes, often. So I got to go back into a lot of those streams and clip little parts and then like re-upload them. You know.
I definitely
Just clip
encourage.
like 25 minutes here, a half an hour there, and just re-upload it as another video.
I encourage people to initiate their systematic use of the hashtag attached to their channel or the theme of their channel, and make that work for you because it is a thing. It's actually a thing. Like there's a whole section of this YouTube search in relationship to the hashtag. And so the name, whatever words you use after the
Trust me,
hashtag
there's a
will
lot
get
of different things that you can do that I know of. I just chose not to go that route because I'm like, this was just me. I was like, I wanted to get it out of the mud. Like, I just wanted to straight up get it out of the mud. I'm like that basketball player that, I could wear that fresh brand new pair of Jordans, but I'd rather just, you know what I'm saying? I'd
do
rather
it the
just wear
hard
those
way.
old ones that are worn and beat up.
Mhm.
They're just more comfortable. You know, it's more comfortable. But no, there's so many different things that you can do. You can recommend, like you can recommend certain videos after, like, when your stream is over. What a lot of people don't know. You can, most of the time when people recommend them, they recommend their own. But if I want to, if I want to prop up Kev 504, you know what I mean? Or if I want to prop up Mahogany or something like that, I could put, you know what I'm saying, like her, a link to her video or Kev's video or whatever. So it pops right up right after, if somebody wants to finish, once they finish watching mine, boom, they can go right to that.
If
Um,
my call drops, I'm gonna need the link again. I'm sorry to interrupt. I apologize. But you were saying about how you can recommend,
yeah.
like,
No,
what
when
what does
once a
that look
stream
like?
ends, no, once a stream ends, you ever notice how usually your screen is gonna come up and there's gonna be a bunch of recommended videos there?
Oh,
You can decide. If you don't decide what they are, YouTube's gonna decide for you. You have that option to do to recommend certain videos. If you don't, they're just gonna recommend what they want.
mm, use it or lose it.
Yeah.
Mm, that's fascinating.
So you can use that as a way to promote, promote your team, promote other content that's similar to yours. Um, people that you're cool with, that have been helping to promote you, or you can promote yourself.
I
You can
really
say,
like
okay,
the
watch this video, watch
entrepreneurial.
that video.
I like the entrepreneurial spirit in you young people.
It comes from just messing with this stuff. Like, all of the features and settings are there. You just got to mess with them.
Yeah, man. Like, I think people are well aware that I'm not interested in being a content creator. Wait a minute, what you got on the screen, kid? What you doing?
I was going over when I made my old videos when I made a video when I was using Cash App to show some of my group, mainly on Facebook. I got a lot of followers on Facebook, about 500 or 600 in the personal group. But I was showing them how to buy stocks using Cash App, because a lot of people always like, well, what broke what you use and stuff like that. And I was just playing around. This is an old video. This and I was just looking it up because I was talking to A&T about the clarity. The charts wasn't coming through straight, so I'm just thinking about upgrading, just looking at how they looked.
Are
And
they
this and I
still
had words
snapping?
behind it, but and I was just showing people this is one of the ones, because I was like, you could buy it on PayPal, stuff like that. And some people want to know about DoorDash because they was interested in buying DoorDash and what I thought of it. DoorDash is now in my portfolio. I put $150 in some of my Cash App stocks. There's one more company I want to get with that. So those companies there, I was just showing people that you can do. You don't need a ton of money. If you want to invest, in the reasons why I was investing in the company, and showing a chart of DoorDash and moving averages and stuff like that. See, when I said moving averages to Gunner, he was like, okay, you know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what the fuck I'm talking about, dude. So, like
I
you remember
heard.
that conversation because I could have saved him a lot of money that Thanksgiving by telling him to dump some of that to get rid of to sell his
Get that
Bitcoin stock
white
at the
guy.
time.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, thank you.
Melo's like, yo, tell him to go sell his mother.
I didn't
but
say
like Mel say, Karma stop. She interrupted just before I was about to tell him, so maybe deserve to lose it. That's that what we was talking about earlier. That Karma or whatever. He ain't deserved that break.
then he tried to pull a switcheroo. See, this is why black women get in the way of black men
Yeah, that
advancing.
happens a
All
lot.
that kind of man, he was trying to
That
pull a
happens a lot, and
switcheroo.
I don't allow it. Like I say, if anything,
but
get
as
on
far as
the
business,
person you talking
as far
to.
as business, there's a fee for that.
Yeah,
There's a fee for that. Now, if I'm gonna follow it, if on that, if you want me to follow it for you, I'll follow it for you. But on his case, but mainly I'm gonna just get a little app and just say what I do and just show people how I do my own thing and more of a follow along, man. And if somebody need to know something, I'll definitely let them know. You don't need these dudes with the coat and tie to get a basic idea of how this game works.
yeah. The
But
thing is, what it is, and this is why a lot of people are scared of it. It's not because they're not smart. Those people are speaking. It's almost like they're speaking a language that those people don't understand. That most people don't understand.
right.
And it's not even just the black thing. You know what I'm saying? White folks got the same issue. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand. Most of them don't understand that language neither. You know, but it's really simple. Like just like you were kind of self-taught. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I kind of taught myself a lot of things just by paying attention. I had a job years ago. This is back in 2004, where I was I was actually helping to set appointments for brokers on 401k plans. You
Mhm.
know, and going back and forth. So I had to learn about mutual funds and 401k plans and providers and fund managers. And I had to learn a lot of like terminology and lingo.
Right.
And the boss told me, he was like, yo, if you and I, what the fuck, what was I, 21 years old? You know, I was young. I didn't know anything about that stuff. He was like, yo,
Right.
you're
Right.
gonna have to he was like, man, just get up in the morning and watch Bloomberg, watch
Right.
CNBC. And he was like, you know what I'm saying, that those terms and stuff will become normal. It'll become just, they'll start to roll off the tongue.
It'll
When
be
you're
a
talking.
second nature to you. Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
that's
kind of like if
how
you
I
listen to enough Spanish people for a while, some of them you can catch on to a few things,
yeah, I know when they're talking shit. No, I
Facial
know what
expression and
they're
all
saying.
that. You said that with
Nah,
your cheek went up a little bit. That's I don't know
nah, but
Spanish.
also I can order my damn food. You know what I'm saying? I can order my food in Spanish. I can read the menu, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of like where I am, in South Florida. You can't. You at least need to be able to read in Spanish. You don't have to be able to speak it, but you do need to be able to read Spanish.
Like I used to tell some of the younger little dudes, I say, look, you might not understand legal language. You might as well learn it now before you go to court. See that second time in court, you understand then, because they
Mhm.
speak a different type of language.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's it. A lot of people are intimidated, and that's why I say there's nothing wrong with just go to your bank, just like you got a bank account. Just talk to those people about a retirement account. You know what I'm saying? Something simple, something basic. An IRA, Roth IRA. You know
right.
what I mean? CDs, a college fund for your
There's
children.
differences in those, and see,
Yeah,
I've been through that, but yeah, I mean, that's what they're there for. You pay them for this. That's
exactly,
your money.
exactly. You're already paying them,
Yeah,
and I'm like, yo, just have a conversation. Those people will sit down and have a conversation with you, and they'll explain certain things to you. And there's other things that you might not even want to know. You don't have to because that's their job to take care of
right.
it. But know as much as you can so you could kind of watch them.
And so
You still want to be able
I
to
learned
watch.
that between doing life process. Like I had a UPS 401k, and I was a driver, and worked for them for a long time. When Katrina hit, well, I had to tap into that money because it was a 401k. Well, I got taxed, and then I got penalized, even though I took out a hardship. Took it back in a hardship situation. And then it threw me in a different tax bracket with my salary. So now Uncle Sam was really on my ass. So now I owe back taxes. And so what I learned is now what the difference between a 401k and a Roth IRA is that you can touch it, you can get to your money in a Roth IRA up until, but you can't touch the interest on it that it made.
Exactly.
So if I had $30,000 in a Roth IRA and I just say, well, I need to get 20 out, well, that wouldn't have harmed me. Now I would have still had to pay. Well, no, it's pre-tax. So I think it was pre-tax. I wouldn't have had to pay the kind of taxes I did for putting out my 401k. And here I am. I'm like, well, damn. When I looked into my 401k plan, which a lot of people don't do. I looked at the companies that it's invested in. Well, shit, that's Microsoft and Exxon. Well, shit, I can do that myself and get the direct dividends coming from them instead of going through that. And so that's how I kind of got into the investment things and things like that. And when you start making sense of your situation, I'm like, okay, well, I can do a little bit of this. Why don't I just get a little extra on some? And then, UPS was giving 10% discount. Okay, well, 10% discount. So and then I learned, and then I started getting the feel of that and building my own portfolio. And so that's how I got started.
That's how it works. Just like you said, it was something that you was curious about and you studied it, and it was something that you enjoyed. The more you learn, the more you wanted to learn. So it is something that you're gonna have to want to learn. But look, I've met so many people that are like, look, man, I just want to work. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to deal with all of that stuff. They pay somebody else to do it, or they let the wife handle it, or whatever. And I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But you do need to have some kind of basic knowledge about what's going on if you're going to be into it at all.
Right.
Just a basic knowledge.
Oh, Sax, actually, do I know you had to put the taxes, you filed with the taxes this year? What I came across with filing taxes with the investment, they go send you your form, but if you haven't profit, they only going to tax you on the profit, and that might be over $2,000, or then they start taxing you, or they add it to your income. But those forms there, just turn them in with your tax form, your W-2s or whatever you have. To me, unless you do your own thing. Now, I do the Schedule C, so I just do all the stock and stuff like that, as a separate thing. I think it's only when you get taxed off the profit. Now, I do know if you keep your stocks, if you buy a stock and you hold it for over a year, and stuff like that, and you have a loss, and say you have a 5 or 10% loss, well, there's a way that you can sell it, write the loss off on your taxes, and then buy back in January or February, like it ain't nothing, and get right back in it because maybe the stock hadn't, the price hadn't matured yet. But that's, that's kind of swing trading. But long term, I don't think it'd be much of a problem because it's long term. Now, what I personally do is I have a custodial account because I could use that in my daughter's name, right? And you can also trade and, invest in your own Roth IRA. I use E-Trade for that, right? And that way I can open up a Roth IRA account, get some of the top Roth IRA or mutual funds, put it in that account, and then get some extra stocks that I might be interested in, like Google and stuff on the side, and then create my own thing.
Google is blue chip expensive shit, bro. Damn.
See, here's the thing, though. Now you don't have to. You can buy partial shares. You don't have to have $2,000 worth, $2,000-$3,000 to buy one share. You could just do 100 a month, and then you still getting the same movement.
Right?
You're
still getting the percentage.
See, people really couldn't get into it because they didn't have the money.
Now it's a blue chip, unless you can get in on a hedge fund, or just like you said with the 401k or some kind of IRA or something like that. Like you had to pool your money, and then what they found out is a lot of those plans were top heavy. So if you didn't have a certain amount of money in them, you wasn't gonna move anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they moved so, you know what I'm saying, it was so small as far as the way, as far as the way they moved, it was so small that if it's only moving 10, you know what I'm saying, a tenth of 1%,
right.
You know what I'm saying, every quarter, that means something. When you got $100 million in there, it don't mean shit when you got $10,000 in there. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You got $10,000 in there, you making $1. You got $100 million, you know what I'm saying? You making $100 grand. So it's cool, So They don't mind that. It's like, okay, I take my 100 grand a month to do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But the average person is just getting banged, and a large percentage of, you know what I'm saying, of the stock allowing that shit to move was from the smaller people. It's just they wasn't seeing none of the dividends from it. They wasn't
Right.
seeing none of the dividends. They wasn't eating none of the fruit, which is a violation of fiduciary responsibility, by the way.
I see now a lot of people look for, since they don't know how to get started. So what I always tell them, if you want to just the basic and you want to get started, I'll put them on what I got on the screen now. I use M1 app. M1 app allows you to buy partial shares. This was an old portfolio I had before Hurricane Ida hit, in which I cashed out, which was good because I beat it just before the stock market came down at about $2,000 in it. That 2,000 made 52% return. I made $400, and I was just investing. But I was able. This was one of my little sample portfolios. I was showing people how to get started. And
Mm.
so when you go through this, like, and I was just showing them how to set up their own thing. Like here was Exxon, and this is how the money was moving with it. BP, Waste Management, Hancock Bank. And I was showing you ain't got to put a whole lot of money in it, but you can get 5 to whatever amount of stocks you want to get, and just say I'm gonna put $100 in there, and it's gonna spread. If you got 5 stocks, you put $100 in there. Well, it's gonna go $20 per each stock every time you put 100 in there. You can set
Mhm.
that up how you want, like your own 401k or Roth RA. So when you read books like, with Warren Buffett and stuff like that, and Robert Kiyosaki, say it's insane for you to actually pay somebody to manage your money and you have no idea what they do with it.
Yeah, that's the truth. If you
At
don't
least
have no
tell them
idea,
right.
unless you just conserving some total time because you're
Mhm.
just so damn busy. But most of those dudes, just like you said, to pay somebody to manage your money, like even the big boys, they don't they don't even pay brokers. They pay investment bankers.
Right.
You know, that's it. And they'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, now I don't deal with brokers. I can manage my own money. They
Right.
managing their own money at that level. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Folks like Warren
Or they're
Buffett.
paying somebody and just look for solid returns because they're busy. Some people, I actually had people say, "Well, Kevin, I'm too." You right, but one on to just let me just give you 5. I'm like, no, dude, I don't want your money, man. I'll show you how to open an account, and I'll give you an idea and what to look for. But he said, but I don't have time. I ain't gonna do that. That's so foreign to me. But I do want to get it, start investing. I said, okay, well, you just open an account and do this, and I give you, and you just ask a few questions on what I think about certain companies and stuff like that, and then I give them what I think, and and I just show people. I just mainly show people what I do with mine, win or lose. If it's up or down, and why I intend on getting into it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna show them how to do my, set up something for my kid. That's what I was coming to YouTube for, to show people how to set up. My daughter's 10. So my job as a parent, we ain't know this shit before, is to get her on the map with some dividend stocks that's go, trickle down where she can have a little change coming in every 3 months, like some of these damn Paris Hilton damn people. And they ain't gonna be
Yeah.
their money, but it's gonna be something.
But see, you understand that it's not going to be Paris Hilton money. It's
Yeah.
not going to be Kim Kardashian money. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? It's not going to be trust fund baby money. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But if as long as you do things like that over the course of time, you know what I'm saying, maybe 2, 3 generations from now, you will have some damn trust fund babies. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
as
Just like
long
the
as I
Hiltons.
had to tell my older, as
Yeah.
long as you don't sell these stocks, just leave them there. And she has a daughter. My oldest got a daughter, a son, and one got a daughter. Just like just leave that in there, for them, so they can, by the time they get to high school, they can get a damn car and drive to school, high school, and as a junior. Shit, we ain't get to do. And then have some stuff set up for them where they can, be all right. Long as they don't sell a stock, I'm gonna try to build it where they can get a little dividends,
Facts.
kicked in to help out.
And that, that
And just
that's
keep
that's
it.
all I wanted. I was like, I just wanted my boy to be able to have a car. You know what I'm saying? Be able to have a car. Of course, he got to get accepted into whatever college, but hey, they can send daddy the bill. We got it. Yep, that's it.
Hmm.
No matter what I'm doing, that bill is paid for. You know what I'm saying? And then when it's time for you to, what I'm saying, kick things off, make a few mistakes, get your family taken care, you know what I'm saying, get your family started, you'll have that down payment for a house. You'll have that down payment for a house. You'll have that little startup money that you need for a business. You
All the
won't have to go to the
fallback
bank
money
and
and
hope
stuff
they
like
approve
that.
you for a loan, huh?
Yeah, a little fallback money and stuff like
Yeah.
that to take a hit. Everybody take it. I don't know how some of these dudes say they never took a hit and they just was born in the money, but you're gonna take you might take a financial hit, but you're gonna have something that like when Ida hit. Well, I did have I learned this shit now, but I did have 3 months to 6 months of bills paid in advance, and then so I was able to take I didn't know it was gonna be 6 damn weeks,
Yeah.
with no power. That's that's a little crunch in the budget.
No, and then no, there's nothing else you can do. You either in a hotel or Airbnb
Right,
for 6 weeks or for a month and a half. That is
right,
what it is. And for all you know, it could have been 2 or 3 months.
right,
You don't know, so you got to be prepared for that type of stuff.
right. And after going through Katrina, now I'm comfortable. Wherever I'm going, I'm comfortable because I had a little reserve set up, and I had that little reserve set up before I started doing my little investing things. I didn't really have to, deal with it, touch it.
And
So,
that's what I
but
be
I
saying.
always
I'm like,
tell people, go ahead.
no, that's the main difference when they talk about the difference between them, what the white kids got and the black kids. It's like, bro, they got, what I'm saying, they might have a second and a third chance. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's and we not really giving our kids that second and third chance. That's the
right,
main difference. You know what I'm saying? They could mess up once. You know what I'm saying? Those kids mess up just as much as our kids do because kids mess up. That's what they're gonna do. Kids mess up. People mess up. We human. We fallible. We all gonna make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? That's not gender specific. That ain't race specific. That's just people in general. It's just how you gonna be able to recover from that. You know what I'm saying? If you, that costs you everything.
right. And I
It's
was
over.
saying earlier, look, hell, I get the whole, 6-figure thing in corporate America, not 6-figure men, just the 6-figure corporate dudes. Okay, well, when UPS and major corporations cut back, they cut out the corporate dudes, the $100,000 a year dudes. They don't cut their employees. UPS
Yeah.
drivers will be there. So you can lose that job, but how you shake back? Is that woman you waited to get till you was 40 years old when time the money ain't flowing? Is she gonna be able to pull it back? Because she's spoiled. You got her there.
I always fire management first.
Right.
Always. They're usually the ones that do the most. I mean, do the least and consume the most when you're talking about revenue and salaries and shit like that. So just like you said, the corporate, really the executives. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
execs.
The 6-figure dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The execs. They
Now they
make the
get their
most and they do
severance
the
and
least.
everything, but if the economy and the country not rolling like like they did in 2008, they was out of job for years.
Hmm.
That was like how you bounce back for that. That's why they got a big fear of that. So now the truck driver or someone else who had their own business makes 6 figures who may not have the suit and tie, but them trucks still rolling.
Mhm.
Right. They got different. I think people get a different think that if you make that kind of money, you have to be looking like oh boy. No, they got everyday working people do that, man.
People are they consume. They just really taken in by the lifestyle and the circles that those people are able to to hang out in. The corporate parties, the black tie events, all of that stuff. They get caught up in that. And I'm like, it's stupid. It really doesn't matter, man. Those people are just as messed up, if not more messed up than the rest of us.
Right. Well, and even then, like I got a little stock in Apple. What and they'll send you like because you're a shareholder, even if you got $10 in it, you're a shareholder, partial shareholder. People don't realize that you get voting rights. They will actually send you a ballot. I've been to a couple galas. They come down here to some conventions. Some of the companies, you part of that. As far as the company's concerned. But I've been to some galas, man, outside of investing and stuff like that. And yeah, some of them people messed up. Kids dumb as all outdoors. It's it's a show. My daughter go to a school with a bunch of kids like that, who family like that. Everybody got their own issues, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I
this was
think
something that was
society just look up to them for some reason, but It is what it is.
Like I said, it's the lifestyles, it's the clothes, it's the cars, it's the golf clubs, the social clubs and all of that stuff. People just want to be part of something.
Mm-hmm.
Which, and actually, like I said, I've been in them boardroom meetings. I've been on those floors, and trust me, them people cuss each other. You know what I'm saying? They cuss at each other. You know what I'm saying? It's dog eat dog. You think we bicker and banter and fuss on YouTube? Yo,
Right,
like
and especially when they
for
got
real.
pressure, when there's pressure or heat or something, yeah, they go
hmm
off. Especially bosses. I knew some dude like, dude, I couldn't work for a boss like that, man.
Man, I seen grown 60-something, 70-year-old men throw temper tantrums, man. Throw temper tantrums. Beat on the desks, you know what I'm saying? Beat on the table, yell at people, all of that. You know, pit stains and they designer Armani shirts and shit, man, sweating
Working with
and
your
all of
job
that.
over your
Yeah.
head. I get it.
You know, I seen CEOs, you know what I'm saying, cussed out, you know what I'm saying, by the owners in front of everybody. Like straight up curse the fuck out, man. You know?
Right.
That's what people don't understand, man. It's like that. There was a scene I saw a long time ago in that movie, The Toy. You remember
Mhm.
that with Richard Pryor
Oh yeah,
when he tells that
At
motherfucker,
least-
man, drop your pants,
yeah. You
drop
are
your pants, straight up.
you
He's like, oh, that's not reality. It's like, I'll show you reality. This
mm-hmm.
motherfucker right here make a couple $100,000 a year working for me. I'm gonna make him drop his pants right in front of you right now.
Yeah, that is, that's one less employee you gonna have fucking with me. Oh no, I mean, men like me and you gonna have our standards, and it ain't money. I got to die with some kind of damn pride.
Mm-hmm.
Now look in the mirror. I ain't taking. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, man. People eat shit at that level too.
Right.
People do, and then your integrity. There's no price tag on that.
Yeah, you still got to look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Lola Noble just said many of them have high blood pressure and are obese. That's what I mean. Watch CNBC. Look at that shit, man. Most of the motherfuckers are old and bald headed. You know what I'm saying? They done lost their hair, man. That shit is stressful.
Yeah. Look what they did. Look at Obama picture before he went in office and after.
Mm-hmm.
Gray hair, everything, man.
Yeah. So we just gotta understand, you know what I'm saying? Those people got their problems too. But that's why they make the big bucks.
Now I ain't mad at them because see the whole goal. I think I don't need to feel like that. As far financially, that's fine, but I don't need to feel like that or be in that environment. But the whole thing is, building for the average everyday person is building a comfortable lifestyle with different sources of income coming in, and that could be done on an everyday level.
I know I had, man, just in the last couple of years, I had to find a couple extra ways to bring in some extra money. YouTube is definitely one of them, but you got to put the time and you got to put the work in. You just have to. I'm trying to get the marketing, the consulting firm off the ground because that's something that I've been doing for other people for years. So now it's my turn to do it. I understand that. Hey, I can only do that but so long. So I know they get on Kevin Samuels about the advice and all of that other stuff. That's what really like just planted the seed in my brain. It was like, look, man, if you approaching 40 years old and you in sales, like understand that that's a young man's game. You might want to transition into consulting.
Right.
I hung on that. And a lot of people they focus on the what's your height, how much do you weigh, what's your dress size and all of that stuff. I'm like that's the one thing I took from it. After listening to that man for hours, I'm like, okay. I don't know about the rest of that stuff, but that part works for me.
Sure with the other thing, but I take what's gonna benefit me out of stuff I read or hear on these shows, or that's what of my interest. Period.
Yeah, like I said, that's the part that's gonna work for me. The rest of it, I'll take what works for you. Y'all looking for the 6-figure guy, whatever. Maybe he can help you. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. but it's the truth. Because hell, you know, who wants to be 40, 45 years old working around a bunch of 20-something-year-olds?
Oh,
You know,
working damn 12 to 16 hours a day. Shit.
yeah, 12, 16 hours a day with people that just naturally gonna have more energy than you do. Like, and we human, you know. They got that energy. They gonna take those risks. You know, I remember what it was to be that 20. You know what I'm saying? That 20, that 25-year-old. You know, on the sales floor. And yeah, I was able to run circles around the older dudes. Because of that. You know, you got no fear. It's nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing but energy. Nothing but energy.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
hungry.
I get what you're saying. If you was in
You know?
sales too, yeah. And not only that, you meet a lot of people in communication. It's gonna be, you well rounded. That's
Hmm.
very important in sales.
Now I'm that old dude. So it's time to
On
it's time to
consult,
move on.
yeah.
You know?
Especially if you didn't been through it already and
Mhm,
didn't know the mistakes and what to do here, here, and here, and then how to deal with people. That's a big deal.
And then
That's
understanding how
why.
things been transitioned over the course of time. Like the world isn't what it used to be. You know, there was like it's just not what it used to be. People transfer and they exchange information differently than they used to. People network in different ways now. So you got to get out in the world. You can't just sit in that office and assume that things are always going to work the way they always have, because they're just not going to. I've seen too, and you understand this just in your field. Like, look, those that are changing with the times, those that are ready for the next, you know what I'm saying, the next big thing, the next wave, the next boom. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that are ill equipped. You know, those
Yeah,
that are
they got to
moving
make
like
the adjustments as they go along.
those that are moving like battleships rather than like speedboats. You know what I'm saying? They're probably going to be left behind.
Right. I give you a prime example of that. One of the best things I did as far as investing when I was delivering, and I was already into the zone and digging into it. Then I came, I was delivering to Blockbuster, and at this time Netflix was coming out, and the shares of Netflix was $10 a share. So I was just having to walk in, I'm delivering the Blockbuster. They had the whole setup and everything, and I'm like, with new technology coming and everything like that, Blockbuster has to pay for overhead, employees, shipping, and and stuff like that, rent,
I was
mortgage,
gonna say, man, that leases.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
lease and stuff
Because they
like
don't
that.
own none of that property. They don't own any
And here
of that
Netflix
property.
is at $10 a share. So I started digging it. I started investing in Netflix. Blockbuster never changed and kept up with the times.
Hmm.
And now they damn near cease to exist. The same thing with Kmart. They never really adjust to the times.
Hmm.
And they never upgraded their store, so they got left behind. Then you see them following Sears, same thing. So you're right; those that don't keep up with that, and these are major corporations with top-notch educated CEOs. Now, even now, we're looking at I don't know what CEO made, what top dude made this move, but Nike decided to reduce. I mean, Foot Locker decided to reduce the sales of Nike in their stores. What's wrong with you? You know what y'all gonna sell? New Balance? There's a line around the door for Apple products, Nike, and kids movies all the time. And that just made no sense. So I'm looking at the stock drop. I'm like, damn, man, that's a silly move. But because I keep up with it, I'm like, well, damn, Foot Locker go take a hit. Then we got to see what Nike gonna do about its distribution. So those are kind of standoffish now, but Nike is gonna be here. I also missed the ball on like Under Armour when you saw the commercial with the dude picking up weights. Will you protect his house? And right? I didn't know
Hmm.
Under Armour was gonna come in that strong.
Yeah,
Right. And I was like, damn, all right, we missed that one.
yeah,
Reebok didn't adjust.
and that's what I mean. Under Armour even pulled the and I'm gonna have to go in a minute, but yeah, and
Yeah.
Under Armour
The
pulled
ball.
pulled a serious move just by signing somebody like Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Which they didn't make nothing on Steph Curry shoes. I think they might have took a hit on
Yeah.
Steph Curry, but they were able to keep him away from the competition,
Right,
which was
right, right.
Nike. So they actually won in that deal, you
Right.
know,
Right.
because they, you know what I'm saying, had Nike got Steph, and Kevin Durant and LeBron James and all of them. Shit, man, Under Armour be nothing. You know, so just being able to keep, you know, an endorsee like that away from the competition helps a great deal. So, you know what I'm saying, that $200 million that they had to pay him over the course of all of them years probably saved them a good billion.
Yeah, I wonder if look, I just read an article now. Google actually pays Apple not to build a search engine. That's wrong. I was like, God damn.
I believe it.
That's direct, like a good example of what you just said. Now I'm holding off the competition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even if it costs, when you're playing with that kind of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna jump off here too, man. Good talking to you, man.
I'm about to fire one up. I'm about to fire one up like right now. So
you waited this long? Damn.
No, I had a schedule, bro. I was like, man, I'm gonna chop it up with you. I was like, I'm not gonna come here and be like, yeah, I'm firing one up, man, while on yours. Nah, man, we gonna come chop it up with Kev, man. I would have kept pushing it back, man, because you actually give real information.
Yeah,
which I definitely. I want to get back to business.
Mel was carrying over a conversation. We were still up. Always good to just having just regular old chit chat, man.
Man, I want to get back to business. It's just sometimes you gotta package it in BS just to get people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's it. But there's a lot of ways that we can you know what I'm saying, we can do better and be better. Definitely a lot of ways we can do that.
All right, I'm gonna holler at you later.
But Kev, man, thanks for having me up, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for being supportive, bro.
I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna put a little. I'm gonna start off another portfolio and show people how that go. I'm gonna do like 300-400 a month just to give people an idea, and then walk folks through on the live on exactly what I'm doing.
All right.
Get out of fit on that. All right, y'all. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Peace.
All right. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna leave y'all with one of these. I know y'all was wondering what this was on this on the screen. This is how it is in with a New Orleans second line, just walking down the street. So I know y'all was watching. I'm gonna play the whole thing for y'all. And I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Y'all can check it out if you like.